Hey guys, in this video, we are going to talk about why you may need to change your morning routine. We're going to talk about why my morning routine has changed. And my goal by the end of this video is that you will know if you should change your morning routine or not. If you're new to my channel, I'm Kassy, and I make videos all about how to streamline your home so you can add at least 7 extra hours back to your week. If that sounds like something you would love to have in your life, be sure to subscribe down below and ring the bell next to it. About 4 years ago, I started a little blog and started sharing tips with moms for how to simplify their lives. And one of the first posts that I wrote got a bit of traction, and that was about how to create a minimalist morning routine. So when I started the YouTube channel about a year later, I also shared how to start a morning routine, and I shared my morning routine, at least my current morning routine, in that video. But as the years have gone by, I have shifted and adjusted my morning routine. I've actually meant to do an updated morning routine video for quite a while now, but it just hasn't been at the top of my priority list. Other videos have taken precedence, but I will be doing that in the next video. In this video, I will just be covering some of the reasons you may need to shift your routines. And as I go through those reasons, I will be sharing which one of those reasons have affected why I have changed my morning routine from time to time. Now, you may be thinking, I thought you said once we completely streamlined our home, we don't have to go back and do it over again. And I do mean that. Once you have completely gone through the streamlining process and done it from start to finish, so for those of you that are new, that is completely decluttering your home, then setting up routines that will have your home running on autopilot. After that, you create a set it and forget it meal plan, and then you put together a budget that allows you to be the master of your money. So once you have gone through all 4 of those steps in order and really done each step, not done things halfway, not jumped around and got distracted and left things partly done, then you shouldn't have to go back and completely redo the process, because part of the process is also setting up boundaries in each of these areas so that things don't get out of control again. However, there are different times and situations where you may need to revisit certain areas, and you won't have to go back and completely start from square one, because you've already done that. You've already put in the effort and the work to create that routine and get it started. But you may need to pivot. You may need to shift your routines a little bit here and there, or you may need to create a new routine entirely. But you won't have to go through and do the entire process all over again. It should be a very small amount of time that it takes you to adjust a routine. And sometimes you won't even need to adjust a routine. Sometimes it'll be something small like just reassigning chores or something simple like that. But again, if you have those boundaries in place after you have completely streamlined your home, you shouldn't have to go back and do the whole thing over again. So let's go ahead and look at some of the reasons that morning routines may need to change. Now, just an asterisk here. I'm calling this why my morning routine has changed and why yours may need to also, but really these reasons could apply to any one of your routines. So if something isn't working and these reasons apply to you, you may just need to take a good look at each of the routines you have set up and see which ones may need some tweaking. The first reason you may need to adjust a routine is that your season of life may have changed. If you have been a parent for any more than a day, you've probably realized that things are going to change. As soon as you get kind of used to one thing, something else may come into play that completely changes everything. Now, don't get discouraged if you're a new parent. You will be able to set up routines that will work for quite a while, even with young children. But as they grow and change and mature, you are going to have to tweak things here and there to meet their current needs and meet your current needs. This is one of the reasons my morning routine, as well as my cleaning routine, has changed throughout the years, because I'm not in the same season that I was when I wrote those original posts or even made those original videos. My kids were much younger. My oldest at the time that I started all of this was, I believe, almost 5, and my second, and at that time, those were my only 2, she was 2. So that was a pretty different season of life than having a now almost 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, and also another child that is now 2. The girls are now much more mature and capable and able to do things on their own. However, that also means that I am running them around to a lot more activities. They are involved in a lot of things, which is super fun, and I love watching them do it, like swim team and their music lessons. But it does give me less time to be at home and do the things I need to do at home. So I just have to be more strategic with the time that I have. It's not that it's a bad season by any means at all. I absolutely love it. And I keep saying I wish I could just freeze time right here. I have so much fun watching them do the things that they are good at and learn those things even more. But I definitely have less free time than I did when I only had 2 kids, and we were pretty much home with a very predictable rhythm just about every day. The second reason your morning routine may need to change is you don't like your morning routine. Maybe the season that you were in when you created that initial morning routine called for a certain type of morning routine. And this is actually one of the reasons that my morning routine has changed. The season that I was in before required me to get up early if I wanted to have some of that time alone and make sure I got some things done, like working out. Whereas now, my oldest 2 are old enough to jump on their bikes. If I want to go on a run, I can put the little one in the stroller and we can go and work out together. And I don't necessarily have to get that done before they wake up. Something else that has changed with my season is I now have a job outside the home that I do very part-time, but it is still something that I need to do. And with that job, I typically work from 7 to 11, which means I don't go to bed until at the earliest it is 11:45 or midnight when I am working, which means it's not really possible for me to get up early every day of the week, especially if I have worked the night before. And another thing that has changed is instead of just doing the blog kind of on the side just for fun when I had time, now it's really a priority for me to create these videos and put more content out. So if I'm not working at the job where I'm out of the house, I will often be working until 11:30 or midnight at home on my business. And I know a lot of people say, oh, that's terribly unhealthy and I really should get up earlier instead of staying up later. But this is the season that I'm in right now, and this is what is just working for me. So my morning routine had to adjust. Another reason that you may want to reevaluate your morning routine is if it is working against your body's natural rhythms. This is, again, one of the reasons my morning routine has changed. I think I said in both that original blog post and that original video that I am not naturally a morning person. The only reason I was getting up early is because I found it necessary to get my workout in, to have a little bit of me time, and then be able to not be having to rush and work out and stress about that later in the day when the kids took their naps. I found I needed that downtime to kind of recover and not to be expending more energy during their nap time. But naturally, I'm a night owl. So it works much better with my body's natural rhythms to take those later shifts at my work outside the home job and to work later into the evening as opposed to getting up early and working. I also find it just works better for me because in the evening, I can work until I'm done. I don't have to stop working because my kids get up and they're ready to start their day, or I don't have to stop working if they wake up from their naps. I do still typically work during nap time, but I do have a hard stop whenever the youngest one gets up. But if you are a morning person and you find yourself staying up late to try to get things done and doing the things that really could be done in the morning, you may want to adjust your schedule that way if that works much better for your body. When we are first starting out as parents, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to try to juggle. It's a lot that we're having to figure out pretty quickly. And sometimes we just need to put something in place so that we can kind of survive. And once we have things under our belt a little bit more, we can adjust things a little bit here and there so they work much better for us and our family. The next reason you may want to take a second look at your morning routine is if your routine doesn't flow naturally into the rest of your day. Again, this is one of the reasons that I adjusted my routine. My kids actually really enjoy going for what we call ride runs, where they ride their bikes and I run. And it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to get up early, work out, and then work out again with them. I mean, that would be fun. If I had nothing else to do, that would be a blast. I actually quite enjoy working out, but I have other things I need to do in my day. I can't just spend 2 hours a day working out. So that flow of things didn't make sense anymore, and I needed to make an adjustment. If your morning routine is either redundant to some other part of your day, or if it just kind of gets you off on the wrong foot, maybe there are things in your morning routine that aren't putting you in a good mood for the rest of the day. Maybe you're doing certain things in there that you feel like you have to do. Maybe that's working out for you. Maybe you feel like you need to work out, but you don't actually like it. I would say don't put that in your morning routine then. I mean, working out is great for you, but if it's gonna put you in a bad mood for the rest of the day, maybe don't do it. Maybe save that until later in the day and it'll give you a little endorphin pick-me-up later. But I highly recommend whenever you are building out your morning routine, and I have all of this information in that post. I will link to that in the description down below. And I think I have a video about it as well. I'll double check on that. I'll put the video in the cards and in the description if I find that video. But I talk about making sure that you aren't putting things in your morning routine just because you feel like you have to. You want to put things in there that you want to do, that will get you excited to start your day, that will put you in a good mood for when your kids get up, and you can be a positive, happy mom and not one that is just dragging and depleted. And if you are an introvert and you need that just quiet, alone time before your kids get up, don't do extroverty things during your morning routine. Don't meet somebody at the gym if you just need some quiet time before your kids get up and you have to give all that energy during the day. The next reason you may want to take another look at your morning routine is if it works better in theory than it does in practice. Sometimes it's really easy to make a beautiful morning routine with all the things in it. And when it comes down to actually executing on that morning routine, it just isn't practical. Maybe you have too many big things back to back, and maybe things just take a little longer than you allowed for. Maybe you need to drop some things from your morning routine. Maybe you need to add some things to your morning routine. For example, if you have working out on your morning agenda, but you don't have any time built in for actually getting out of bed and getting into your workout clothes, then you'll probably start your day off feeling behind. And that's never a good feeling. So you may need to just add in a little bit of buffer time if your routine isn't working out, or you may just need to drop some things if you had too high of expectations for yourself and you need to just lower the expectations a little bit. And the last reason that you may need to reevaluate your morning routine is if it just isn't working. Even if it isn't one of the things that I have talked about before, if there's something that just isn't working for you and your life and your family, go back and make some adjustments. I will put a link to that original blog post because that has a really good step-by-step guide for how to create a morning routine that works for you. I go through how to pick a wake-up time, things to include in your morning routine, and how to make cuts when you need to. So that's a really helpful resource if you want to create a morning routine or if you need to make adjustments to one that you already have. So that is all I had for this video. In the next video, I am going to show you guys my updated morning routine for this year, and we will go through that step by step, why I include what I do. I'll show you guys my wake up time and how it kind of coordinates with my kids' morning routines as well. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and ring the bell next to that subscribe button so you don't miss that video. As always, I'm Kassy with MakingTimeForGiggles.com, and I will see you on the next video.